And welcome back to Career Build Series, episode 126. So I just loaded this in, and the containers attached, no problem. So the space between them is perfect. That keeps those nice and safe, so that I should be able to reload a save and not have it go crazy buggy. So let's go ahead and load in my loco here, and we'll get started here. So I need to switch one track as we come up to it, but I will try to remember that. So I'm going to prime up the steam system to get going. We'll just go ahead and attach. I don't want to burn too much electricity here until that's up and running. So people have been telling me some tips about getting the system set up here on the locomotive, so I need to kind of do some more research on that. Again, this is my first train, so I'm not too well versed on all the tricks for that. At some point, maybe if I can feel like I'm competent enough with trains to put out a tutorial, I'll do that. But until then, I'm kind of relying on some other people who have much more experience with trains. Like I said, this is the first train that I built, and so I don't want to kind of playing with things, trying to learn it. So let's wait for these pistons to start up and start generating some electricity, and then once we have some electricity going, we can go underway. Alright, any day now. So this should be starting up fast here in a second. Actually, it doesn't take too long, from the button press to having copious amounts of electricity. One of the fears is that they'll nerf this at some point, but who knows. Alright, so we're gen, and let's get up and let's get going here. So I'm gonna, this is my set speed, that's the speed I desire. This is our actual speed. It's in miles an hour now, so I'm just gonna set this up. I'm just gonna set it to max. So I'm just holding the W key, getting that set. And the system will automatically do things like account for wheel slip. It'll automatically bring that up and down based on wheel slip. And so I'm just going to set this up to max speed, which I have set to 71. Doesn't mean we're going to get there. I think it will top out around 60, but okay. Alright, and so there's a track up here that I know I need to switch at, and because I tried it already. And so this track up here needs to be switched. And so that should switch, and then that should bring us all the way in, no problem. And then we should get credit for these, and I will go ahead and unload them. And I could bring in the ship loader, unload both of them as one. The ship loader is not great at unloading double stacks, but I can't bring them up to max length, but I should be able to unload it, and then use the shifter maybe to do it. That will save me some time. I think I will do that. All right, where are we at here? We're at the hospital island. I'm just keeping an eye on this because I already had an issue where I tried this and I ended up crashing. So I didn't crash. I slammed on the brakes and the containers damaged the car somehow. So I have to keep an eye on that. And so I'm going to try to use the track switcher here when I get within range of that. I forget what the range on that little antenna is. It's not huge, so. But this one's here is the one that needs to be switched. That's going to try to take me up the Arctic, which I'd love to go up the Arctic, but I need to fix this. I don't have any track switches up there, so one thing I'm thinking is I need to ask some people if I can go in the XML and just edit an add-on and put in somebody's add-on and edit it in so that I don't have to redo my whole save. It doesn't take that long, but it means I have to re-edit the XML of the new save, and then I have to cheat in some money, and then I have to go buy all the islands that I already have. I just fly around, do that. It helped clean up some of the clutter that I've left around, but I'd much rather if I could just XML edit them in. So right here I'm going past Chemical Island. Let's slow down. I want to get this right the first time. And so as you can see, I just set the speed down. It's dropping off at a reasonable rate. We'll go down to like 20 miles an hour here. I don't want this going nuts. So we've had no slips so far. Everything's been working well. I can't see past this. Probably a mistake to go up on there. So there's this track switcher there. Alright, and so let's go ahead and click the track switcher here. And that should hopefully switch it over so that I can get stay on the correct track. I'm going to take it slow here because if, like I said, I slammed on the brakes last time and I stopped fast enough that it would cause these to slam into the well car and cause damage. And I don't have a fire extinguisher or repair torch on me, so. Alright, let's look in third person. I can't tell. Okay, yep, it switched. As you can see, green's on the left. It's hard to see. That's the other reason I want to do an add-on, is these are the default ones the devs put in. They're using indicators off panels. Are they? What are they using here? No, I don't know what. That's a bespoke thing, and that is just... they're hard to see, where if people use a regular light, they're much easier to see. So shut the track switcher off and we'll go back up to speed here. Hopefully we can go 60 without having any issues. I'll check my electricity. Yeah, we just produce so much electricity with the steam pistons that we're good. Okay. Alright, so 60 miles an hour, I can do about 60 with a truck. It'd take me 2 trips with the truck, or 1 with the train. Also, this I can kind of sit back and not do much, where the truck I really have to be hyper vigilant. So it's kind of nice to, you know, I still love the trucks, but let's check this. Yep, goes through no problemo. But you know, it's nice to have a little bit of a different type of different machines, different tools to be able to do different jobs. So, you know, and what I'm feeling, I've been kind of feeling doing this. So, all right, I'm just gonna grab a picture. I know it's kind of annoying me coming out to do pics all the time, but kind of need them for the videos. There we go. That's a good one. And I like to put up teasers too for people to see what's going to be coming up in episodes. So they can kind of look forward to some different things, especially if, you know, somebody's really enjoying train content. They can see that that's coming. So, what? Am I on the right path? Oh, that's the land path. Again, you can tell I don't do trains very often. So that's a diesel cell right there. So that's theoretically a place I could sell some diesel fuel if I could actually. Problem is I'd have to tanker it over with a barge to then fill the train, or I could go up here. Is there a diesel buy? I'm curious if there's a diesel buy on the mainland. I don't know. Is this train tracks? Maybe I can buy diesel at Holt Town and sell it at the Arctic. That would make money. Again, I need to get those track switches into work at the Arctic. I'm going to go down to 45 miles an hour here just for this tunnel's kind of a tight turn. Should be fine, but I'll slow down to 50 just to coming in, and I don't want to slam on the brakes again. Seeing I had that issue where slamming on the brakes caused it to damage the well car, so better take it a little bit slow and to make it not have to start over again than to bash it all up and have to start all over again. So kind of take the smarter path there. Try to keep this stuff on the realistic end. Just kind of looking up trying to find the actual locomotive model that I base this off of. Just kind of Be interesting to look at some of the stats. Alright, so we should be approaching here pretty quick. This is our last gap before we get there. Here we are. Okay, let's start slowing down. Again, I really like the set speed system I built. Lets me just, very quickly and easily set a speed, and you can see how responsive it is. It's very quick and responsive, and it doesn't cause me any problems. Let me check the track switchers here. It doesn't really matter what. I'm going to probably go off that right spur. I have to, let me quickly change it out. Yeah. Yep, perfect. I hit it just on the money. It's alright that we're over here. I should be able to put this in the workbench if it's right next to it, so. Alright, and slammed on the brakes, which I promised myself I wasn't going to do, but spacebar slams on the brakes. It essentially gives it a 0 signal, and I need to make it so that it stops trying to motor it and just does brakes. That way it won't go back and forth. But okay, so we're here. I'm gonna leave this running. Yeah, I'll leave this running. The coal's cheap. All right, so let's go ahead and go in here. I'm actually gonna use the ship loader to unload the 4 stacks, and then I will then pull out the shifter, because the shifter can carry a 2 stack while moving. This one, it can, but it's not. Because this has the long arm, essentially you have more torque. The length of your arm gives you more torque. So because this can reach longer, it essentially amplifies the mass of the containers. So that's dangerous when you're moving. And I didn't follow my own tip, which was go in the other hangar. As you can see, we're jammed up on those bollards. Okay, so let's just do it from this side here. Alright, so we're going to use this one to grab. This one will be, where's my track carriage, extend carriage. Okay, I'm going to extend my carriage here. This one will let me unload these and put them as double stacks, and then I'll be able to go grab the shifter and put them away. I'll be able to grab the shifter and put them away as double stacks. So this should hopefully be quicker. Instead of me grabbing one down, putting it on the ground, grabbing another one, putting it on the ground, doing that 4 times, I should be able to reduce my workload a little bit. Be a little bit more efficient. And it lets me pull out another toy that I haven't used in a while, which is one of the main reasons I like doing it. And I'll grab a pick here, I know, just to be more annoying. I have the gearbox, I have the, I'm in too high of a gear is why I'm just kind of having to dance around with the gas brake here. Okay. Now let's go ahead and I'll extend a little bit. Kind of should be good there. Okay. Let me try to remember. Trying to remember the controls in this. So left right is left right, up down, steering. What did I put for? Let me see. Boom out and in is 1 2. Okay. I knew it was on there to control it, but I couldn't remember. And is it going to do it, or is it going to misbehave? It's trying it. Sometimes those linear tracks can be iffy. You got to play with them a little bit. They get jammed up sometimes. Okay, let me do this. There we go. Okay. Just had to play with it a little bit. That's just linear tracks being linear tracks. I also have the grippers lock in it, so they can be a little iffy. Okay. All right, so that's off a little bit, which is fine. That might not be fine, but we'll soon find out if that's too far away. It's going to move that before it moves the train. We hope. Okay. See if that's probably, yeah. I'm going to back up the train just a hair, just to make things a little easier here. I can easily back this train up, so I'll just do that before I cause myself a problem. There we go. All right, good. So that's just an easier way to do it. Back the train up, and we're good. All right, so that is attached. And so I'm gonna grab out the double stack out of this, and then I'll put it on the ground. Save me a little time. Okay, I need to release my bottom connectors, which I have a button on the other side. So it's one side has the buttons, is this one here. So right here. There we go. That's now dropped. Should be able to pull the stack out. And so this is what I love. You know, I love the actual equipment operation of the game. That's what interests me most. Alright, I'm trying to stay away from that right container. That one's got me worried that it's going to try to snap to it and give me problems. So I'm going to kind of swing my tail and take the brake off. Trying to do it quickly and the brake's on, of course. Like this. Swinging is dangerous. Let me see if I can go without the shifter. Let me grab a picture. This is, you know, not realistic pulling a... I don't know. You know, you could pull a 53 probably with something this size. And these are just 220s. You might be alright on the weight. Trying to get some pics here. Let me try getting rid of these with this. If this caused me a problem, I can revert to other things. At some point I want to make... this chassis works really well. I want to make a crane out of this chassis. You know, I actually probably could just raise the cab, raise the arm, and then rotate it. I think that's what I'll do. I might do that. Make this a real simple crane. And once you have a platform and a, you know, like a body like this has that works, it's much easier just to modify it than to rebuild a whole system. A lot of it's, you know, if you have the microcontrollers, it's not too bad, but even just building the cab, setting up the panels, doing the numbers can take you some time. So like what I did is the shifter came first, and then this came in, and I was at probably 70% complete when I started working on this one, and so I had to do things twice, where if I waited till the shifter was 100% done, I could have easily converted this without having to redo some stuff. Now that this is, you know, for the most part done, I should be able to make this a moving crane at some point. Yeah, so this isn't bad. This is, oh, see, that's, that's good. I'll take a pic of that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So the longer your lever arm, the more torque you're putting on it. So you notice how I don't have this out very far. The way to solve this is pretty simple. Bring the arm in. So I'm going to take a pic here, and then I'm going to start bringing the arm in. And so see, bringing the arm in instantly made that stop because I decreased the torque on that. I don't think I've been paid for this yet. These are all spy cakes. I'm waiting on a payment. I don't think I've gotten paid yet. I'm trying to think, where's the payment? Yeah, I don't think I've been paid for these containers yet. Let me check on them really quick. Nope, I forgot the brake sets if I jump out, so it slammed on the brakes. Get out of the wheel well. 16 minutes left on that container to get paid. I don't know what the top one is. Yeah, so I kind of want to get this paid. I'm gonna move it over here by the docks. It might have to be over there. Having an overlay, say, for example, on the map, telling you where you needed to drop, like the containers, would be kind of cool, like showing you the square, and you just click a button and it would... Yeah, I'm just driving around trying to get it to pay me. And yet, I didn't see it pop up. Oh, come on, man. Straighten up, fly right. I thought that was going to pay me right there. Yeah, I haven't seen it pay me yet. I'm going to try to get it close to the water here and see if it pays me, because I think it's, you know, this one, there we go. Okay, cargo delivered right here is fine. So, yeah, it's near the water. Okay. So I'm going to drop this. So this worked all right. I didn't have to switch the shifter. It's kind of nice to get both vehicles in. So these have been released in the workshop for a little while now. Okay, those are good. Let's release connector. Try to expedite and get the last one down here. So this is what I use for loading barges and stuff. And so we'll do a wheelie. Reason's pretty simple. That whole back area, most of this vehicle, literally most of this vehicle, are weight blocks. It weighs like almost 8,000 mass. And that's what allows you to realistically operate these containers out to reasonable ranges. See, I'm wheeling with my drive axle, which is just my drive axle down, which is not good. So again, the torque of that arm, just having the arm out like that. So I've operated a long-reach telehandler before, and so there's actually a chart in the cab. Oh, come on, brake. I'm just in way too high of a gear. And what it will show you is it will show you the max weight, and the max weight is dependent upon how far you have your arm out. So if your arm is close to you, say you can hold 6,000 pounds. If the arm is halfway out, you might be able to hold 3,000 pounds. And if the arm is all the way out, you might only be able to hold 1,000 pounds. And so you can lift heavier weights, but you can't extend them as far. And so that's kind of that gives you your extension limits. And so, for example, there was a walk-behind forklift that we had at the community college I worked for, and that actually had a higher lift rating than, like, I think the front-end loader, because it held the mass closer to its body, and so it was lifting straight up. So essentially, there was no torque to twist it well. With the front-end loader, you know, the mass of the engine was in the front, and so you couldn't go that far with it. I can use my camera here to line this up. Actually, not on this one. I have to fix the camera on this one. Okay, let me get this lined up, and I'm going to move the train again. I can actually rotate it like that, which will help. And so, for example, like I was saying, the front end loader actually had a less of a lift rating than a tiny little walk-behind forklift, because it had that long lever arm, and it made it so that the you were more likely to tip over, so it would bypass the hydraulics. I would love to put a ladder on here, but I don't have the space in the workbench to do it. I could fake a ladder, I think. Okay, that's on. That grabbed, which is good. That is... No, it didn't. I took this too. Alright, I should be able to grab this. I think I'm close enough. I just need to bring the boom in a little bit. Yeah, I should be able to just bring the boom in a little bit. If need be, I can move the train. But I'm glad the new well car works. That's awesome. That was something that that I was hopeful of. Oh, those are right on the money. Oh, here. Click that button. That would help, huh? There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and raise this up. All right, what's going on here? I'm not sitting in my seat. Come on, man. Get in your seat. Just standing on the seat like a dope. All right. Beautiful. All right, so this is this turned into a cool mission. You know, I agree with a lot of people that that the developers working on the missions and the career mode would be awesome. That's something I definitely want them to do. But also, I think a lot of it comes down to, too, is until we get that, you need to kind of make some of your own fun. And so I have no problem doing this. I've always more enjoyed games where I had to make the fun than games that kind of laid the path out for me. Like, I can't stand some of these like story games like The Witcher stuff, you know, despite them being great games and critically acclaimed. It's like I just can't get into them. It's like they tell me, hey, go do this boring thing over here that I have no interest in. And I would much rather make my own story. Even like I haven't played Grand Theft Auto in a decade, but like GTA, like, you know, going out and doing your own things was always more fun than doing whatever they wanted me to do, you know. And so with this, I enjoy going out and doing a rescue mission, but I also like say, you know what? I want to do my own rescue mission. I want to play with my toys that I want to play with. I want to do this. I want to make a little money and, you know, kind of do that. So I'm using this camera right here. This camera shows me straight ahead. That's how I can drive, you know, without being able to see with that load in front of me. If you're wondering, this camera should be a downward-looking camera. It looks at the corner there. That one needs to be adjusted where it is. So having those cameras allows me to see around this load, like I can see down the ramp that I'm going down. But yeah, so I like making my own stories and making my own fun in the game, and so, you know, I definitely get the people who want, you know, some more narrative, some more variety of missions. But it's, you know, it's again, they'll get to it when they can get to it. You know, they're certainly not perfect. Definitely not perfect, but you know, I think they'll get to it when they get to it, and complaining about it's not really going to help. I think you know, I'm very curious about what's going to happen next week. I'm sorry, next week. I forget that I do these videos like weeks out, so you know, for me this is recording on a Thursday, and so tomorrow would be you know, the weekly release. So I'm not going to talk about it because it'll just be weeks late. I'll do my thoughts video. Beautiful. Okay. So that's awesome. This one netted us, I think the other two were 3s as well, so that was 12,000. So 12,000 was a pretty reasonable payday for this. You know, all we burned, all we used, our only expense was our time and coal, and see, we're not actually getting paid to play this game. You know, that was we work for free, but which I need to, you know, I have a good union in real life. I need a better union in Stormworks. So let's put it that way. And I'm not management in Stormworks. So let's put it that way. And so, you know, this was a reasonably profitable mission. It took me a little while. What are we at here? 27 minutes. So I loaded up the containers, I think, at 40. So let's say this took me 37 minutes. Let's say 40 minutes total to make 12 grand. There are, of course, more profitable things you can do in game. But again, if you're always aiming out to do the most profitable thing, well, filling up an oil tanker with a ton of oil and going a long distance and filling that up is going to, you know, profit per hour, nothing's going to beat that. And I like to do that sometimes. But often what I like to do is other things. And so, you know, I don't necessarily go and see this arm. Again, I'm doing stupid things that I should know better, like leaving that arm up. That arm up is causing us all that problems. It's putting torque, it's screwing up our torque. Let me see if I can just recall this in the bench. All right. That's one thing that's cool with spy cakes, is you can actually recall things from pretty far away. All right, next thing, I'm going to try to put this away. See if we can do that. All right, so my little fake ladder here is annoying. There we go. Sometimes you go up in the first try, sometimes you do not. All right, let's try to get this in there. So I love with this system, I put a floor on there. That's why I don't have you know, decimal places, but like I can set this to 2 miles an hour and creep in there, and that's really nice to be able to do. It gives me really precision control. Still need to do things like it adds, so like in real life when you have a say a diesel electric system, you have regenerative braking just like I have in my car. Is when you use the brakes, you're essentially changing the polarity of the motor, and it now is turning an electric motor into turns the electric motor into a generator, which all a generator is essentially electric motor backwards. And so that's what the train will do, and it will essentially, and then you can put more and more resistance on, and the more resistance you add, the more electricity you generate and the more braking force you cause. And so I have that working here, but I just need that to shut off essentially when it gets below a certain speed and only rely on the brakes because it's causing it. That's why it goes back and forth, back and forth. So those are back in. Let's look at our money. 443,316, and we have Katie that's still sitting out. So that was a good mission. That or a good little bit of fun. That netted us some good money. I enjoyed that. I'm trying to think. Let's see what else we can do here. BBG. Sawyer. Sawyer South. At some point, it'd be nice to buy the North and South Islands and get the trains going there. We make reasonable money on those. Those are 7s and 9s. BBG, I'd love to get to BBG. Komodo's a 2 there. Is that Komodo a 2? Let's do this. I want to end up... I'm just going to fast travel there. Let me see what's up for missions. What is that? 4 casualties? I missed a person at the camper van. I took 3. I didn't see a 4th. Huh. Let's do this. I don't mind fast traveling. Fast traveling, I think, is a reasonable thing, just because, just for to expedite things a little bit. Oh, what happened to Katie did? Why are you on your side, Katie? Katie did is on her side, which I'm not thrilled about. Why are you on your side there, Katie? The did is on her side. What is up with you, did? Wonder if that's just from loading in. Straighten up. Fly right, did. Just broke a prop. Okay. So we got a little bit of time left here. Bunny hopping. All right, let's load up a... Okay, weld. Load up a welding torch here. And fix the did. It's a good nickname for it, the did. Fix the did. I don't know how the did turned over, but she did. The did. Okay. I think that's all the damage. Just broke the prop. Okay. Could have been wind. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just us being far away, and it decided that when it reloaded from being unloaded, it might have loaded in and dropped it, and put it in sideways or something. Okay, so the did's fixed. Let's go grab that person. That should do us well on time, and then we'll be all set with the did for another mission. All right. So thrilled with the way the dids work, and what I'm going to do too is I'll show you station keeping this time, and let's go ahead and set up our. Yeah, I didn't really. I thought it was 3. It wasn't. I'll take off ground idle, put in the waypoint. Go ahead and set about 150 feet's good. I'll go ahead and set to that. Still don't have my green light yet. I shouldn't have taken off till the green light came on, but as you see, we still had more than enough power. It was just an issue of that's kind of the safety mechanism, is that set of power. Doesn't look. What's my heading? 121. That could be the right heading, but it seems like we should be a little bit more to the south, but maybe I'm wrong. It's hazy, so I can't see the main island. All right, if we ever get down, we will. We'll get down this time. We probably get down to about 35 gallons here. If we get down to 35 gallons, you'll see the annunciator system. We'll get one bing off of this speaker here, and we'll get a solid yellow light right here. And then if we were to get below 25, we would get a beeping red that will not go out. And so currently I have fuel battery there. There's probably a way for me to set up multiple lighting on the one button, but I'm not very good at Lua. I'm trying to learn. It's Sometimes it could be a little bit pulling teeth, and it's just not what I'm feeling like doing. So this screen here, what I want to do, I also want to learn some more Lou on this, is I want to put the zoomer on here, the ability to zoom, and I want to put a button for infrared. So I haven't decided if I'm going to keep that camera there or not. It's not a terrible place for it, but it's not great either. I've tried putting it behind the prop, I tried putting it in different places, and it just didn't look right, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with that. A little bit of treetop scud running here. Alright. So let me try to find right where this mission is here. And I'm going to do station keeping. So we'll test out, I'll show you the station keeping here. Just heard, like, I hear a banging noise? Something banging around? Huh. Heard a banging noise in game. Okay, so they're, what? What? I rescued all these people. This is absurdity. Alright, let's go down to, okay, so let's do some quick calculations. So, we have, there's our feet, that's our, above sea level, and that's, let's put a heading in here before I get dizzy. Should put it into the wind, but so that's our above sea level, that's 106 there, so let's do, so we want to, why is this turning? Oh, I haven't shut this off yet, that would be why. Okay, so I'm trying to do a calculation here. This thing would stop being annoying. So we're 109 feet above the ground, 110 feet above the ground. So I want to go about 60, so we need to go down 40 feet from where we're at. So let's go down to, just go down to 100. And that would put us 46 feet above the ground. Alright, so station keeping is on. You see we're holding a nice station here. Let's go ahead and get in the back here. I want to start with my Fire X. Okay. And let me bring this up just a hair. I need to fix this button. I don't like the way it works. I have to press down. I need to fix that at some point to do more what I want. And I'm probably going to end up heading right on top of this fire. Which is what I'm doing. I'm like perfectly over the van, which isn't great, but whatever. Is this a new mission? This is weird, man. It's the same van, same general spot. Okay. I think the braking noise was this braking. Okay, I need to come back with a reser, which is fine. Okay. So I'm going to swap out the Fire X for the reser. This actually gives us a little bit of money. There's 4 here. Of course, it'll be quicker for me to land, but I just kind of wanted to show you station keeping and how this would work with a setup. I also want to burn the fuel down to get us into the caution and warning area. Just kind of demonstrate those. Press 6 will close our hatch. I'll jump out. I'll just leave that annoying winch noise. That's why I usually open the door when I start. This Fire X needs to go away. I'm going to grab my reser. Okay, jump back down 6. Oh, I forgot. I need to do my method where I get out of my harness here. 6. Jump out. Let's go down. So I should probably, I don't know. It would be neat if I could do a variable speed on this, but I can't. Okay. Because then I could have it go really slow until it's through the hatch and then speed up, but I can't really do that on the fly. I have to set up in the workbench. So this won't be, I'm going to, you see how we're still over the van. That's how precise this stuff, I gotta make sure I set this to, am I in the right harness? No, it's this one. I have to control this from the harness here. I didn't shut off the, shut the winches off. Alright. The other thing I can do is set this up where when I put somebody in there, it reads it as occupied and brings them up. Bang. Get up, son. You have 1 health, and I didn't grab a health pack, so that's gonna be a mess. Should have grabbed a health pack because they're probably gonna fall again because their health keeps going down. So, but station keeping is really nice now. It took me a little while to get it tuned in, and I just made a mistake where I forgot to. You know, I was doing my PID testing, and then I forgot to actually change it. So, change it back to where it needed to be. But this system works well. Let's grab a health pack. Alright, let's go ahead and get in the corner here, open the door, drop this down. Okay. Yeah, see, this is annoying, but it's not the end of the world. It's just kind of obnoxious. Just an extra thing I have to do that's a little bit time consuming, but, you know, it's not the end of the world. I'm still warm from the fire. Alright, feed you a health pack. I'm glad that this person didn't end up getting incapacitated again. But it's kind of nice to do a little bit of do a little station keeping here. It was, you know, it was nice to get in, and I'm glad that that happened. Kind of got it into the game. I got it into the build. That really makes this a much more versatile craft. It makes it much easier to use. So happy I got that done. Okay, put you there, and then the last person here. Behaving more now. Been easier to get in. I think where I was standing, the harness itself was interacting with my character's body, and that was making it hard to get it into the hatch hole. Okay, and here's the last person. And then I'm gonna actually do the smart thing and check the mission. Which again, this looks like a new mission, but it's a good habit to get into to actually check the mission before you leave. 4, okay, and we'll count them when we get up there. But this is good to use station keeping, get this going. I think where I want to go to drop these peeps. Probably somewhere with a bed. Probably just back to the hospital island, to the military island. I especially like these types of missions where I get a bunch of different stuff done. You know, it breaks the gameplay up a little bit, makes it more interesting, I find. Can't put that away with them sitting there. Come on, get the door. There we go. Alright. And we're still not below 35. Perfect. So we're going to burn a couple gallons off. You'll hear a ding, one single ding, and then we'll get the yellow. Let's go up to 165. We're a little low last time. Change our waypoint here to, let's go to back here. There it is. We just got the ding. So 1 ding gives me a caution fuel. Maybe I'll do a double or triple ding. Let's go up to 200 feet. I don't want to, it's trying to take, oh. Station keeping needed to come off. It was trying to station keep me there. I hadn't put in the prop yet. So you can use station keeping for traveling. It's going to use pitch and roll to get you there. Oh, I'm using the wrong keys. I haven't set the keys up the way I want them yet. So fuel went back, light went back out just because we're tilting, and because we tilted, it changed the you know, the fuel's sensing that it has more fuel in there because we have 2 tanks. It's actually reading out of 1 tank, so fuel kind of sloshed into the other one. As you can see, we should get it there in a second. Bingo. Now we've got our yellow light back on for fuel. So that was that actually happens in real life too, where if you slosh the tank, let's say the probe is on the back of the tank and you slosh the tank backwards, like you pitch up, the fuel will slosh back. It thinks it has more fuel than it really does. And then when it sloshes forwards again, it might think it has less fuel than it really does. So once we get down to 25, which I don't think we'll get to, we're not going to burn that much fuel to get to the military hospital, but you know, we'll start pretty close to that, and we'll go back probably home or something. I still haven't decided what I want to do next episode. Kind of feel it, what I'm feeling at the time, and I think that's better. You know, it feels like work if you try to, you know, coming up with too much of a plan of I'm going to do X, I'm going to do Y. It's kind of like when I, you know, I enjoy building the submarine, but it was, you know, I did that because the update came out and I was enjoying it until I wasn't. And then I needed a break and go do something else. And so it was, the train was dragging for a little while there. I was doing a lot too much on the train, and so it was nice to get away from that. And, you know, I'm really feeling katydid now because, did I enter in the waypoint? I did, but I didn't route to it, so. I'm going to say we should be able to see this hospital island already. That's just me talking instead of, there we get the red. See the red's on, so we get constant binging that I can't shut off. We're below 25 gallons. So, and that's probably because we're rolling. It's probably sloshing a little bit. We'll see if we roll out if it stops sloshing, but it's nice to have the red mesh. See, it was the roll. We're now at back to yellow. So that's actually something that realistically happens is as you slosh the fluid in the tanks, you get that. And so most likely what's happened is as we turn, it's putting more fuel into the pipes, and then as we go back, it sloshes back into the tanks. And I would say the main thing is I have 2 tanks, and all I'm doing is I read from one tank, and then I read from one of the tanks and I double it. That way I don't have to make the microcontrollers big because I'd need to add an extra node. So instead of adding an extra node, I'll read one tank and multiply it by the number of tanks. So it's not perfectly accurate, but it's accurate enough that I know that, you know, okay, we're in a steep bank. Bing, I got a red light. We're out. Bing, I got a yellow light. Okay, we're still not in the red yet. You know, so that's all that's about. It just kind of tells me what's going on. Bringing the prop back. I'm actually going to shut, what are we heading? I'll go ahead and center the prop. And now it's going to turn to the waypoint because this is on. So I want to set a, shut that off. I want to go 0. All right, we have red now. You can hear it pinging. It's going to ping us constantly. Does this still have a heading? It does. It's going to ping us constantly once it goes in the red. It's still not there. That was, again, slosh. So it looks like the slosh is actually modeled. See me pitching the nose down, gives me a red. I bet if I level it out, I might get a yellow back. See? We actually have simulated slosh in here. So that is something that you do get in real life. You get the slosh as it tries to move around where it is. And I assume in this it's just moving around the pipes. And because I have 2 tanks and only one's actually reading it, it's reading that tank. What's my heading here? 310. Let's put 310 in here. All right, and let's go ahead and we're going to shut down. So we'll go ground idle first. And then I'm going to go ahead and take off. I'll leave that on. Yep, we got our less than 5 nautical mile flasher there. All right, and now I'm going to shut down. Generally want to reduce your thrust before you shut down. That's kind of a typical practice, IRL. Let's go ahead and jump out and grab these peeps. I've walked on the prop once before. I need to make a short for that of me walking on the prop. Oh, I did grab this person. This person needs some health. Nope, that person doesn't. The person next to him, I think, does. This one does. So, you know, I like to shut down to get that, so that I'm not walking on the prop. Reduce that urge to walk in the prop. So made a good little bit of money on this run. Not, you know, not insane amounts of money, but good money. I had a lot of fun doing a different variety of missions. That was nice. Got to kind of show you the station keeping and the new enunciator panel. I do have space for more things, but I really can't think of much else that I want to do for enunciators. Battery, fuel are pretty much my main things that I need. You know, I could do low RPM, have a beep on that. And so instead of having it, I'll show you really quick. So instead of having it say fuel, battery, it would say F, B, and then have those two next to it, and then have, I'd have to figure out some more space. But if I could do multifunctional lights where it's at F, and then this could be yellow or blinking red, and then you have B, and then have different things set up, that would be another thing to do. But that would be done in the future, and so I think this was a fun episode. If you enjoyed the episode, please give it a like. If you enjoy my content and would like to see more, please consider giving me a sub. I'd appreciate that. And I will see you guys in the next one.